A lot of people in the mental health space, they create content and they tend to say a lot of things about what your partner has done wrong. Not that many of us are focusing real hard on what you might have done to contribute. Oh, that's a tough thing to have to say. Maybe it's time to recognize we have to own certain behaviors that's brought out the worst in our partner. Absolutely everybody at times becomes emotionally dysregulated. Some people more than others. The real measure to how dysregulated you are is whether these 6 signs of dysregulation are the rule or the exception. Some people just fall into this trap all of the time. That's their pattern, their default. But everyone from time to time can catch themselves out with these 6 signs I'm going to take you through now, one at a time. And if you're aware of them, you can begin to say, oh, I can see this coming up in me. I'm going to make a different decision. First one is being demanding. When you say something like, you've got to answer the phone when I call you or else. Pretty demanding. It's going to close someone down immediately. They feel controlled and coerced. So an alternative might be, when you don't answer the phone or respond to messages, I feel unseen. Can you help me with this? Every single one of these 6 signs, if you replace the word you with I, instead of saying something that you are responsible for, I'm responsible for my emotions, but I'm going to ask you if you can help me with that because you are my most important supporter. The next one is no accusations. Accusations are the first thing that will close a person down as far as criticism is concerned. They don't want to hear it. You've got to be about 95% sweet and 5% sting if you want to get the best out of a person. So if you go to them immediately with an accusation, they'll close down on you. You could say something like, you made me upset because you don't care about my needs. That's that word you again. We switch that around. I felt upset when that happened. Can we talk about a way that we can support each other? Not only are you being inclusive of that person and your role together in moving forward, but you're taking responsibility. I felt upset. You're taking responsibility for your own emotion. The next one, no projections or presumptions. A projection or a presumption is an idea that you have about how someone ought to feel, or a way that a person should behave or act according to what you think. And often we make the mistake of not explaining to our partners what that expectation is. We just presume that they should know. And then when they don't do what we expect, we get upset. Doesn't make any sense. You see, if you don't explain clearly to your partner what it is you want from them and they don't do it, it's on you, not on them. So a projection, an example of one might be, you're not interested in being my partner because you don't wash the dishes. You don't take the rubbish out. Ordinarily, that kind of suggestion has an indication there's something else going on well below that surface level accusation. An alternative would be like, I feel like the things that are important to me are not important to you. Can we have a discussion about making sure we have both each other's values in heart? So, again, being inclusive and taking responsibility. Next one, coercion. This is a massive problem for people like me, unfortunately. If you go into my deep, dark history, when I was operating in my pattern of borderline, coercion was something that I went into immediately. If I wasn't getting my way, I'd find a control mechanism, whether it be another person or a concept that I project onto a person to control them. When we try and attract a person, or when we try to trap a person into a cage so we'll keep them there, that's coercion. When we attract a person so they come of their own fruition, that's attraction. They're complete opposites. One is not sustainable, and the other one is very sustainable. If we try to trap a person, in the end, they just want to escape and run away. So an example would be, I'm going to stop talking to you if you don't do what I say. An alternative would be, I have values that are essential to me, and I want you to know that you can do as you choose. But if our values don't align, I might have to make a tough call about the nature of our relationship. You're drawing a boundary for yourself. You're letting that person make their own choice. In essence, you're meeting your own need. You're not expecting the other person to. The next one is no absolutes. When we're saying things like never and always, it doesn't leave space for the other person to have an opinion. There's no area of grey. We are throwing an idea at that person that they cannot argue with. And if they do, then there's no other way for them to respond other than to go completely against what you say. It's no longer a discussion. It flies into an argument. You're promoting an opportunity for conflict. One example, you never remember my birthday, whether that's true or not. An alternative way of promoting that to your partner might be, I feel unseen when you forget important anniversaries. I'd really love it if you could put my birthday on your phone calendar so I don't need to tell you. Would that be okay? In the end, it's still giving control over to your partner to make up their mind whether they want to honour you. You are giving them the choice. If they choose not to, well, you may decide that that's not the right person for you. We're not just talking about remembering birthdays here. We're talking about honouring another person's values. We're talking about making sure that we are taking care of each other. If your partner's not really interested in doing the things that are important for you, it's probably a much larger problem. If you begin to explain what your needs are and what your values are to your partner, they can make that choice of whether they're prepared to accommodate you or not. The last one, no neediness. Neediness displays itself in a few different ways. Whinging and complaining. We say things like, why can't I? I really want to. Not very attractive. Another sign of neediness is over-availability and feeling like we can't tell someone that we don't like what they're doing for the fear of losing them. And we're being dismissive of our own needs. This causes anxiety. So here's one example out of the multiple different ways that we can show neediness. Where have you been? You finished work 20 minutes ago. It takes 10 minutes to get home. I don't understand. Right? Overly needy people will feel anxious through a lack of trust. Trust is one of the last things that can be built into the characteristics of an insecure person. It's one of the last pillars to be built, so it's difficult. If you can explain to your partner that you're intending in time to become a secure person, but in the meantime that you need their help to be reassured more regularly, then you're taking responsibility for your insecurity, but you're also asking your partner for help by giving them the choice. Every single one of these 6 signs on the negative side is about pursuit. We are chasing after. If we flip it around and we take responsibility and ask our partner if they want to take a part in partnership with us in our growth together, then that's attraction.